There she is.
All right, week one, the PGI is back, y'all. Welcome back, and I'm so glad to be back as a part of this wonderful experience, Monday Night Extravaganzas. Now, I am here with a very special friend of mine that had a fantastic game against the Baltimore Vultures, Mr. Alex Marshall. He is the offensive coordinator for the Queen City Corsairs as well as their free safety. How are you doing, man?
Doing very well. I've been very hyper this today. I was running around my bedroom at 2 a.m. in the morning when we stopped them on that last play. So it's been all day. I've been kind of enjoying the win and celebrating and trying to already talk in our coaches' room with our scouts, try to get ready for Houston and enjoy the win while we can. But it's only one win. Could all obviously still all end in tears the next 11 games. So we got to make sure we don't get too carried away. But we'll still definitely enjoy ourselves this week with a huge win that will really spur things on for us. I've not seen the locker room that exciting quite since I think I've joined there. So it's a really great way to start the season, especially with all the new players we got.
Indeed. And what I like to say, it's week one. So it's a 50-50 chance either way. You guys have no idea what the other opponents are going to do. You only have 4 different books out of 33 different possibilities that y'all have to choose from. So it is interesting to see what book actually worked for you and how it all played out, because Adrian Ellis was a beast in this game, and I wanted you to go back and kind of give us from your perspective of watching this game play out and watching your team stop Baltimore in the red zone, even though they had a chance towards the end of the game to make a comeback, but they failed to do so because of the fantastic defense. So, just let us know how you're feeling right now about your team's performance.
It was just a complete performance, I feel like, by everybody. Like on offense, obviously Ellis and JMJ killed it, though I'm going to be pushing for JMJ to get fined a week's wage for one of his obscene drops I saw him have on 3rd and long. But still, it was about 160 yards he got for both of them. And with Adrian Ellis, he had, obviously because of things, a very eventful offseason for us, he had to be propped up into the wide receiver 1 role. And we really stepped up when we really needed him to. And I know it's been, I don't know how long he's been at Queen City for. I wouldn't know myself, but he's definitely been there longer than I have, I think. And I'm really happy for him to really get a time to shine. He was on the front page of the website this morning, which is great. And then on defense, Chad put together a really good plan to kind of hold them when we desperately needed them to. I think on 3rd down, they were 2 for 9 on conversions, which for Baltimore with all their running backs they have, they're all really highly rated. That's a really great accomplishment. And some heroics by the DBs like YO, who I know he's quite highly paid, which winds up certain people in the league, but I like to think he showed why he is paid that much. So hopefully that will make some people pipe down a bit for a bit.
Just for a little, huh?
It's only 1 week, so I'm not going to get too carried away, but
right.
It's nice to see that maybe they'll keep people a bit quiet for a little while. Just a little while.
At least for a couple of days. And well, I wish you guys the best of luck for the rest of the season. Queen City Corsairs still have 4 championships title under their name. So, even though in seasons prior, things have kind of been a roller coaster ride for you guys, seems like you guys are at least on the right track for this first game. So I wish you the best of luck, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. You have a good one.
You too.
All right, and we are back with PGI. And I have here Mr. Eddie Gage, head coach over in Arizona, who has just came off a loss to the Canton Classics, man. 0-28. So no points scored, coach. Anything happened?
Ken came in with a great game plan. We couldn't stop their run game. I think they ran the ball 50-something times, which is crazy because I didn't see nothing like that in practice. But shout out to them for getting the job done. Our receivers couldn't catch nothing. We couldn't get our own run game going, and it's a bad day at the office. And threw a pick in the end zone. I mean, you can't scout that. I mean, like I was talking about earlier with you guys in the VC, on the pick we threw in the end zone, they had a defensive lineman drop back in coverage, and he took away your first read was the hitch. I can't remember if that was Will Todd or a slot receiver or whoever it was, but defensive lineman took away the hitch, dropping back in coverage. You never see that crap. And we threw a pick, and we just never recovered. But shout out to Canton. They came with it today.
Now, there were a few positives. I mean, there was an interception that was made. I believe that was by Iverson Gamble.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah. And so there were a few moments where, Arizona did have a chance to come back into the game. But, being a quarterback, for those that don't know, of the Arizona Scorpions, it is embarrassing to not aim properly, aim to two other people, or the wide receivers just can't catch. By the way, everybody's going to be walking around with footballs this week. Don't put the football there, not even to use the bathroom, nothing. You're going to carry that ball because it needs to be in your hands. I mean, whatever the fullbacks, halfbacks, when you have plans, it's just week one and things don't work out the way you think it should or the way you originally planned for it, you just go back to the drawing board like a lot of teams did this week. Half of the teams did have to do that. So it's just a learning curve, I think, and I'm sure that Arizona is going to be back to their their best playing ability in weeks to come, but this is something that you have to see in order to fix, so was it hard for you to game plan with only having the limitation of 4 books to use this season, or do you think that's actually easier in the long run? Just quickly.
Not really, because they don't know what we're doing either. I mean, there are limitations about the new rules I don't like, but at the end of the day, everyone has to deal with it. So it is what it is. Again, I'll take nothing away from Canton. They brought it today.
Yeah,
they ran the ball down our throat, and we just could not stop them. Anytime our pass defense I was pretty cool with. We gave us a couple of big third downs through the air, but other than that, I was pretty impressed with our passing defense. But man, our run defense was horrible today, and that's just not us. So we got to get that fixed.
Yeah, well, I guess we're gonna have to go ahead and get them push-ups started, man. So I'm gonna see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Back to you in the booth. All right, welcome back to PGI, where I'm joined with another good friend of mine, Mr. Simien. He is co-owner as well as head coach over at the Houston Headhunters side of the league, and they just had a fantastic performance over the San Diego Mavericks, winning 44-7. Man. So y'all just didn't know when to stop, huh? Y'all just said we just all gas, no brakes, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hunting season for us. Houston Headhunters is the name, and the name of the game is collecting trophies. That's what it's all about for us as of right now. And each season, you want to start week one off with a bang. That week one game is so important to get a victory under. Although you don't know what your opposing opponent is running because you have no film on them, in week one. But so being able to out mastermind, the opposing team in week one and getting that victory basically is a heads up in this league.
Indeed. And to just put on such a dominating performance, that is a statement win, to have put basically, even though it is week one, at the league on notice, especially the South Division, because you guys were very strong last season. And even with Dave Burr throwing 4 touchdowns to Tiberius, a couple to Tiberius Bovine and a couple others, that was just a stellar performance. And even the defense holding that high-powered offense of San Diego and Johnny Pickler to only 7 points.
Yeah, Johnny. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were breaking to me. I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say, San Diego is a really great team. And the SFL who you got, Pick'ems. San Diego won the pick'em versus us. I think it was 117-78, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
But not only that, I mean, they're a strong team. As you say, they have a lot of great weapons, in Benji Matson over there. Britton, the rookie receiver who has great speed over there. The running back, they and Johnny Pickler. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Johnny Pickler led the league in passing yards last season, or even completion percentage or so. I
Something like
mean,
that,
yeah, Duke can ball, and anytime you can hold him in check and not allow him to beat you with his arms, basically says good things about your defense.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. All right then. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. Keep collecting those trophies, and unless you're playing a certain team. And I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care, Ashley.
All right, you too, brother.
Uh-huh.
Back to you in the booth. All right,
So basically,
welcome. All right, welcome back to PGI, where I am joined with a good friend of mine. Has actually been on the show before. I'm on SFL nights before, but had a great win over the Arizona Scorpions. Mr. Andrew Gibson, wide receiver for the Canton Classics. It's good to hear from the other side. What's going on,
good to
man?
hear from you too.
So that was a really good win. I mean, no points scored for Arizona, 28 points scored for Canton Classic. So what was the locker room vibe like? What was going through everybody's mind at that moment?
I think it definitely came down to our pregame invocation. Like Christian was hyping up the team before the game, and I'd say just like while we were watching the game, everybody was in the locker room and a voice chat, just talking, watching the game together, interacting with each other. I think the vibes were great. I think it was just overall just a really, really team built environment that I think is going to be a strong force to come with here throughout the season.
Definitely. And with even the game plan that was put together, I know that there were some coaching changes in the offseason, and it seemed to work out in your favor, especially by this being week one. Of course, you never know what to prepare for week one through your opponent because there is no previous game footage that you can really go off of besides last season. And of course, with the new changes that have been, taking place, and even how the input for the games are now done. It's a big guessing game. It's a big chess match. So, what do you think was some of the key components to Canton's win tonight?
I think the key thing that we really had going for us was we had a really great run system going with Robert Johnson. We had Logan Lee contributing, and we also had our fullback Cherry as well, really contributing, and just overall. We softened up the run game of Arizona really, really well, which opened a little bit of passing to Dillapre and a lot of the bigger guys, and Jack Wall a little bit too. I didn't want to leave my man out. So, yeah, I think overall we just really softened up the defense for the run game, which also let up the pass a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tremendous effort, great game plan. Hope you can keep up that same momentum for the rest of the season.
Let's hope so.
All right, man. Thank you so much for your time, Andrew.
Thank you.
Anytime, man. Back to you in the booth. All right, what is going on? And welcome back to PGI, where I am joined with free safety Lucas DeVore from the Denver Nightwings that are just coming off an incredible win this evening over the Jacksonville Kings. Man, how are you doing?
I am very happy. I'm ecstatic. If the game is an indication of how the season is going to go, I'm very excited.
Awesome. And I know that, Jacksonville and Denver both had to do some replacements of players for the offseason. And it definitely seems like it worked out in a big way in your favor. So tell me, what was the locker room vibe like when, as the game was going on and as you seen the final score ending, the time ticking down and that final score was right there for you?
Everyone was excited. Early this morning, we were excited. we were getting even more hyped as the game was getting ready to happen. And then as the game went on, we were all just, you could tell everybody was just excited and happy with how everything was going and was performing. And then after, I haven't really been in the locker room after that, after the game, but I'm sure everybody's happy and they're excited to see what we can do.
Awesome. So what keeps you coming back to the SFL? What keeps you, or what makes you want to stay a member?
It's just, I've never been able to play football in real life. So having something that I can watch a character that I've made dominate and do well is something I wish I could have done in real life.
Hey, same here, being a female, going out to male dominated sport. I mean, there are female leagues out there, but, wanting to go and play for the Falcons or the Bears or something like that, nah. But it is truly football for everyone. And I am glad that you are enjoying your experience. I'm glad that you, got a week 1 victory, over a very tough opponent, that they're finding their way as well. Jacksonville, hats off to you for the draft that you had and replacing those pieces. And but Denver came out victorious in this. Congratulations and good luck for the rest of the season to you.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. Back to you in the booth. All right, welcome back to PGI, where I am joined with a good friend of mine, Mr. Michael Brown, quarterback for the Tulsa Desperados, that came off a huge win tonight, scoring 52 points, 17. Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I know you are. 52 points.
I'm doing better than I would have been doing if we'd have lost.
Yeah, man. But
It's always good to be on the other side.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But congratulations on this big win tonight. Tell me, besides, Gabriel Manning was a beast tonight. I believe he had 5 touchdowns, and he seemed to be your favorite target. But with you watching the game, tell me, what was the locker room like? What do you think that was the key to your victory this evening?
The key to the victory was, we punted one time all game.
Mm-hmm.
From first quarter to fourth quarter, it was one punt. So the key to victory was just putting the ball in all the right spots and scoring. Absolutely.
And that you did. You guys found a way to win in a big way, and hopefully these are going to be some of the keys to your success, or foreshadowing for the future of Tulsa Desperados for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Which right. Games like that, I'm kind of not a stranger to. In Motor City, I've had probably 3 or 4 of them games.
Mm-hmm. How has that transition been for you from Motor City going to Tulsa?
Pretty smooth, actually. Nice. When I decided that I wanted to explore free agency, I always liked Marco, and me and Marco talked from the first time that I was in, when I first started, which I was with Madison, and I was a running back, and I wanted to be a quarterback, and I'm from Kentucky, and the Lexington Miners are based in Lexington, Kentucky. So I was like, hey, how can I get over there? And he was like, if the quarterback leaves, you might get a spot. So I thought in season 7, I thought Chad Moore, because it said that he left the server. I seen that he left the server. So I switched to quarterback, hoping I was going to get the position. And then me and Marco just kept in communication, and it worked out.
Awesome, man. It sure did. And it seems like it's working out in a good way, a positive direction. So congratulations on your win, and I wish y'all the best of luck for the rest of the season, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Back to you in the booth.